African Culture Ghetto King. Today in the ghetto, and we have historians, we have some of the people here in the ghetto, some who survive here in the ghetto, but we want to talk about our culture, to retracing our roots, and to talk more about heritage, religion. Thank you very much. Mzee, can you say something?
Ili ni kusema tu machari wa Kibichi lazima wawe wakiangaliwa na asili shughuli wanafanya, wawe watu wa kutasamewa na watu wa Kibichi.
Sawa sawa. Kwa majina we?
Kwa majina naitwa Kemboi.
Kemboi. Na wewe mna?
Kwa majina naitwa Desaya.
Desaya. Na wewe? Jonte. Na wewe?
Paulo.
Na wewe mzee?
Justo.
Mimi Luto.
Na wewe hapa nyuma?
Hapa nyuma ni Mashallah.
We have historian. Can you explain to us, historian, your name?
Yes, my name is Francis Karuri, a historian about history culture of our African heritage. Now I'm very thankful for this day to talk about our culture and present ourselves to the world, so that they can know that we have our culture as Kenyans.
Thank you very much. African Culture Ghetto King. Why African culture is more important?
African culture is very important because of some very many aspects. Some of them, it is all about our strength as African. Because if we don't have culture or heritage, we are doomed forever. First of all, we are no longer slave to someone, or we can never be merchandised in any kind of business, but we can bring on the table some fundamental issues of our forefathers to compete with other brains. About why is it important, we have, as any other peoples of the world, they have all the vast cultures of the world. They have their culture, and we Africans, mostly Kenyans, we have to move now or never, so that we can go back to our roots. It is very important so that we can go back to our roots through our culture and embrace our culture, so that we can go back to our strength. And I call upon all Kenyans to come and support us in this move.
Why we Africans are less important in the world? Why?
It is historical because we remember in the early times, nearly in the 13th century, the French and the Portuguese started colonizing Africans through West African regions, and they came to Congo, and they came to steal our minerals, and they pushed us. They initiated some colonial chief and brought us not to have what we call self-discovery or fight among ourselves. From then since, we have not come to be gathered together and form one solidarity. That's why I say it is very important, because if you go back to our roots and remember how we have gone even through slavery and other manipulation like partition of Africa, we have suffered a lot. That's why we as Africans have to come back to our root and gain strength again. And our God will give us strength.
We talk about black stone. Can you tell us something about the black stone?
Black stone is very important because all prophets of the world, even Muhammad, even Jesus Christ, even David himself, had the black stone. And other prominent even leaders in Africa. It is magical.
Which leaders?
Leaders like our forefathers like Mugo Akiviro and others like Dinia Musambwe. The leaders of Dinia Musambwe had that black stone, and others.
And you told us that if you have black stone, even the magicians have black stone. Is it true?
Yeah, it's true. It is true. You have to have that black stone as a symbol of Africanization. Yeah.
If you have that black stone, it's a symbol of Africanization.
Yeah.
We African, are we poor?
We are no longer poor. In Africa, there is a lot of wealth which has been stolen. For instance, you can see in what is going on in the DRC Congo, a lot of social conflict, so that the foreigners are now stealing our wealth through mining, through bringing what we call unnecessary trend of bringing wars, of bringing wars, and also bring some what we call a lack of self-discovery.
We African, we have lack of self-discovery.
No, the one who are coming to colonize, you know, there's what we call new colonialism. That's why you see in the countries like DRC, Congo, as I said, there is instability. So they are causing that instability so that we can fail, we can become failures, or the African government can become failures so that they can continue stealing our wealth.
That's the major problem.
We are very rich. For example, you see the incident of Makifuli. Yeah. They killed him because he wanted to enlighten us Africans, yeah, about the diamond of Tanzania. We can sell them directly. Yeah, others leaders like Gaddafi and others, prominent people, we are now seeming to be going back to be colonized again. And I wonder why many Africans are relenting instead of coming together and embrace our culture. So today here we talk about our culture so that we can go back to our culture, and I call upon every Kenyan to go back to culture, because culture or nature, it is godly. Everybody who embrace culture or the God of our forefathers will come for help us. Yeah, because if you go back to our roots. Yeah.
And our African religion, is it a major concern?
Yes, our African religion is first and foremost. You know, in every region or religion, when you do some prayers as Africans, this is ordinary, this is what we call, we embrace our God, and it's like oath taking. Every day you pray to your God, you take an oath for 12 hours, and after 12 hours, even when the night comes, you also go back then and you pray again, so that God will give you guidance and He can embrace you with His Spirit.
For 12 hours, you need to pray 12 hours.
Yeah, 12 hours each and every
day.
Because people, they have 12 hours. So you have to pray early in the morning and late in the evening, then tomorrow. And you continue doing that, so that we call upon our God to help us, because we come from this. We have been in this bondage for many years. Because you see, we have been colonized, we are not counted as human beings in the world. So we have to come up strongly and support culture, African culture, so that God can come to our help.
What can you tell the youth who are living here in the ghetto?
I want to talk about youth and tell them that it is now or never. We have to go back to our culture and embrace it, and go to the elders for any questions, so that we can move forward.
And you told me that there's a story that you written somewhere.
Yes, I have been talking about or teaching about Africanization, how we can liberate ourselves from this poverty, or from this being misused or manipulated by other people. So what we have, if you go back to our culture, we have what we call self-discovery. Self-discovery is about knowing yourself, knowing your God, knowing where you have come from and where you are going. That is what we call self-discovery.
What can you tell the world about the ghetto and the youth who are living here?
I want to tell the world now that we are coming up now. We are now coming to come up and take out to the world. Africans have to conquer the world now. Yeah. So they have to wake up and fight, bring their culture back.
Center epic of the world is Africa.
Yeah.
Can you say something before you?
Okay, you can say something. Thank you all guys for coming around. I want to say something. You know, Africa is the center epic of the world, is the cradle for mankind. So civilization
Started in Africa.
started in Africa. Mathematics, Africa. Everything, Africa. The pyramids of the Egypt, Africa. When you look at the 7 wonders of the world, 3 among them belong to Africa. So, in short, what you're supposed to say, the whites didn't bring everything. Everything was in Africa before the whites came. You can't tell me that the white man came to explore Mount Kenya, yet Mount Kenya was in Africa at that time. So it means that the blacks were there. So black life matters. I can say that. And I would like to encourage the youth and everyone in the ghetto and everyone in Kibra and everyone in the streets and everyone in Africa. Black life is the most important thing. And we should always not appreciate racism and discriminate racism. That's all. Thank you.
You have to be able to say something.
Nikiwa kama jaliwa Kibra, ningeomba tu mtu yeyote ambaye anaona vijana wakishughulika na shughuli zao wasione ni watu wabaya, ni watu ambaye wanajaribu kujimudu kimaisha na kutafuta mbinu ya kujiendelesha, kwa sababu kuna watu wakiona vijana wakipita wanasema hawa ni wabaya. Hawa sio wabaya, wako kwa shughuli ya kujitafutia vile wanaweza kuishi, si kunyang'anya mtu na si kupika kelele ambayo si ya maana. Shughuli zao za muhimu ni kutafuta vile wanaweza fanya nini, kujimudu kimaisha.
African culture, your last word, historian.
Yeah, African culture has to move up. Say hi to African culture.
Hi, African culture. Hi, African culture.
African culture, Ghetto King. I think everything is okay. And we want to thank God for this day. Thank God for being here. And anyone who can support a historian here from the ghetto, I know you can write so many books. You have that passion, you have talent, you have everything. Only God knows. Thank you very much.
Thank you.